Hello everybody. So, I promise I'm going to get back on that. The next video after this one will be painting that hood. So, the next video after this one will be a 67 video. We're going to finish sanding that hood and we're going to paint it. But, before we did that, I got out here with some old rubbing compound that I've had, and it's went bad because it's separated. It won't go back in, or it's frozen one. But as you can kind of tell, I squirted my tire. But I mean, yeah, that fender's got dents and stuff in it, but look at the paint. And I mean, really, look at the paint. I only had 2 bolts holding that fender on, so I took it off and brought it down here and kind of tacked it to the door so I could actually get into it, you know. I straightened that a little bit. That corner of that fender was up into it and creased everywhere, and I kind of just bent it back out and beat that back out and got most of this one back out. The antenna was rolled down into that fender, and this was creased down through here. Whole reason I decided to do that. I would like for that convertible to be a decent grandstand car. And you can't do that with a pink paint and mismatched hood and bumper and everything. So I went and done that buff and done a little bit of straightening. I've still got to do something back here, but I feel like if I can get the entire car as good as that fender, which should be doable, that all I'd really have to do would be paint the hood and bumper, and at a glance, it's red. Acrylic enamel, GO bright red 91 to 96. So I got a quart of it. All I'm going to paint is the front bumper, the hood, and I might change the back bumper because that bumper's melted a little bit somehow. So I'm going to buff the entire car. I'm going to wax the entire car, but I'm going to paint the hood and bumpers. Ain't that just, I mean, it's messing with the camera, so I mean, it's shiny. I know a lot of you don't want to watch Geo videos, and then a few of you do, and then anyway, can't make every video make everybody happy. It's not possible, and I'm not going to try to do that anymore. I'm making videos about stuff that I want to make the videos about. If you want to watch that, then you can, and if you don't want to watch certain ones, then you just skip them and watch the ones you do want to watch. So, I've kind of said this before, and kind of is what it is on this. So, the Geo videos, yeah, I mean, I kind of expected it. You make videos like that, and it seems to aggravate certain people, and that's fine, I guess. Why am I doing it? I can think of at least 20 people that subscribe to me just because of Metro videos, the blue car and stuff like that. I can think of at least 20 people, so I know there's people out there that are interested in Metro stuff. And I'm one of them, even though I've done most of the Chevelle stuff over the last couple of years. I am a Metro person too, so it's something I enjoy. So here's a Story. I was probably 5. I was probably 5 years old. Dad bought the first one that we had, and it came and went 2 or 3 times. You know, we sold it and it came back 2 or 3 times. And I've seen that car go from, it was a rollover, and I've seen it get fixed nice. And he drove it a while, he sold it. It came back with a burnt valve, he fixed it. He drove it a while and he sold it. It came back wrecked. Old man pulled out in front of somebody and knocked the front end off of it. It came back wrecked and we fixed it. And I drove that car 8 years. $100 car. I drove it 8 years. Nothing really ever happened to that car. My point is in saying that, I've seen them go from being nice to nothing. I've seen them going from being worth something to nothing, and then worth something to nothing. Every time gas goes up, the values of geos go up. And every time it goes back down, the values go down. They'll go from a couple $100 to a couple thousand, couple hundred, couple thousand. They'll go up and down. I've seen them go from being nice cars to nobody cares. And I grew up with them. They're kind of like the same thing as the Chevelles. I grew up around those cars. So I have just as much of a reason to fix one of these as I do any of the Chevelles. I wanted to be able to take a car on a vacation this summer. And I didn't want to have to spend a lot of gas money to do it. And I got to thinking, I really don't want to be embarrassed of the car. I mean, you can drive anything, but you know, a dumpy looking car that looks like it came out of the woods and just got put back on the road. I mean, that's fun in certain circumstances, but when you're trying to go to the beach in the middle of the summer and you want to be able to let the top down. So, I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want to do. Next video, like I mentioned, we're painting this hood. Is it ready to paint? Probably not. My car wasn't either, so it kind of matches. You got to kind of call it somewhere. You know, you can't just keep piling more and more and more and raising expectations more and more and more. Because if you do that, pretty soon you don't want to drive the car. You might get a fat girlfriend and might just lay her on the hood, and you don't want to cave in your good hood, you know. And with a Metro convertible, you kind of want fat girls, because then you don't have to lower them. They do it for you. Cold clutch. So, the reason I had it running, I just got done changing the oil. Didn't change the filter this time, but I only run it about 1,500 miles each time. I wanted to show you this, what the oil looks like. Like I mentioned, that had about 1,500 miles on it, right? Focus.